global warming, ozone layer, and stuff like that. So in terms of friendliness, yes, you see that is suitless. You see that you get enough value for your money.
So how are we supposed
it depends on the handling. How do you handle it?
So how are we supposed to handle it?
We are supposed to now know the do's and the don'ts. What are the do's and the don'ts? You do not just begin to deal with the LPG if you don't know how to handle it. For example, you have a cylinder. I have talked about the pungent smell. Do you smell anything? If you don't smell anything, chances are that there are no leakages if there is gas inside the cylinder. Do you know how to open the valve? Do you know how to close it? And what do you do if you want to now start your gas plant? Do you strike the lighter first, or do you open the valve first?
What are we supposed to do?
We are supposed to now make sure there is no leakage first. Then we are supposed to now strike the light first. Then we can now turn in the knob. And now the source of gas comes in and it lights up.
So yes, we're just still talking about cylinders.
Yes.
They say there's a way to that the cylinders have expiry dates.
Yes.
How do we find that on the
Now.
How many people know that?
Beautifully. Let's go back to standard organizations. Those are the ones who determine standards. And they also are the ones who should come up and tell us these are the kind of standards that should be brought into the country or that should be manufactured into the country. Because two things are happening. It's either these cylinders are being manufactured in the country or they are imported into the country. Whichever way you look at it, the standard organization should come in there.
So when we have cylinders that don't have these details,
yes,
what is it?
It also comes back to what I said earlier. The Standards Organization of Nigeria are the ones who now determine if these cylinders are okay or they are not okay. So if we see any cylinder that does not have those details that we are talking about, naturally it means those cylinders have not passed the Standard Organization of Nigeria's quality control, quality assurance, which means those cylinders are not supposed to be used in the country.
Then there are preponderance of those cylinders.
So that is another wake-up call, but we are always synergized, we are always in talk with Standard Organization of Nigeria. How do we curtail these issues?
So let's look at the gas explosion that happened in Kaduna just the other day. What could have been done otherwise? What could have been done to prevent such a thing?
First and foremost, that incident in Kaduna is an illegality, as in the sense that the facility itself was never registered by the DPR. The DPR would not have registered, would not have licensed such a facility in such a kind of situation. And I've also explained, we do give what we call Category D license, but Category D license does not give you the right to do what we call decanting.
Yes, since talking about safety and gas usage, is there anything some of these major oil marketers who have, who used to, and they still do, who sell gas, what can they do to help this matter?
Just imagine a case of Owando bringing its own cylinder, or maybe Total, or any of the oil company that is interested in going into the LPG business. It's a case of, okay, we know these cylinders belong to this company, and we know what this cylinder is supposed, in terms of years it's supposed to serve. So it's a case of once that time comes and the company is already aware, because they know when they brought in their cylinders, and they know when these cylinders are due for certification. So it's a matter of, let's take this one that I do and replace them, and to actually solve the problem of those expired cylinders, substandards, and this prevalence of leakages, accidents, and what have you.
Well, we want to thank you so much. It has been very educative, brief, concise, but very educative. Thank you so much, Alhaji Idris Abubakar, the Assistant Director of Gas Operations at the DPR. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so very much, and I want to use this opportunity to call on our fellow Nigerians. Please, let's take safety as everybody's business.
Thank you, Antonia. Well, that's where I draw the curtain for the day. Do not forget to join me next week for more explanations on what the Department of Petroleum Resources is doing to make the petroleum industry in Nigeria not only safe for your use, but also yield the required value for you and in our country. Goodbye.
Roads are the arteries of communication and trade. In our part of the planet, roads have been playing significant role since primitive times as a basic connector from point A to point B, as well as making immense contribution to socio-economic development and growth of the society. If it were possible for the road to talk, it would have stories to tell from the scenes of humans' activities from generation to generation. Welcome to Niger State, North Central Nigeria, with about 10% of the country's landmass and largest network of federal roads, measuring 2,240 kilometers in addition to the state roads. It is therefore not surprising that Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, a trained economist and an entrepreneur, is committing billions of the state resources to road rehabilitation projects to enhance its economic growth. Governor Abubakar Sani Bello began his second dispensation with genuine intent to further stimulate the economy and bring prosperity to the state. The governor, like in his first tenure, embarked on a number of road rehabilitation projects, including Garima-Tunga Locust and Union Morris roads.
We are much grateful to the government for giving us this beautiful edifice without requesting from him